Today I am taking a walk with my daughter, and we are going to be talking about how much money you can realistically expect to make as a freelance video editor. Okay, so I'm going to be fully transparent with you. Ever since I started as a freelance video editor, I have consistently made about $20,000 a year. And I know that doesn't probably seem like that much, but this is not my first priority. My first priority is being with my kids. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I have 3 children, and they take up most of my time. I work very part-time right now. I only work about 20 hours a week. 30 on a really, high traffic week. I only work when my kids are taking naps or in quiet time, and then at night when they're in bed. That's the only time I work. And then Saturdays as needed. But those are the only times that I am really working on my freelance business. So even working just those 20 to 30 hours a week, I am able to turn most projects between 2 and 7 days, depending on the needs of the project, the needs of the company. When I say turning a project, I mean editing the ceremony toasts, the formal dances, the grand entrance, the cake cutting, everything that's shot with 2 cameras, editing all of it in full, color grading, adjusting audio levels, and doing the entire creative edit, which depending on the company depends very greatly on the length, on the creative needs, etc., etc. Now that is a pretty fast turnaround, 2 to 7 days, but I am able to do that not only because I have been doing this since 2010, but mostly because I have the proper systems in place that help me be very productive. I'll talk a little bit more about that at the end of this video. So let's get down to the nitty-gritty. What can you make as a freelance video editor? Let's crunch some numbers. Now I'm going to do this next part in the studio so that I can put up some numbers on the screen to help walk you through it. All right, so I have worked for companies that offer anywhere from $300 to $700, $750 for a 5 to 8 minute highlight video, a creative edit. And that almost always also includes the ceremony toast and the formal dances edited in full. So let's start on the low end. Let's say you find a company to consistently edit for that pays you $350 per project. Freelance work almost always pays per project. You're going to be pretty hard pressed to find someone who hires you freelance and pays you per hour because you could be just swindling them. So most companies just set a per project rate. So let's say, again, on the low end, $350 per project. And let's say you as a new editor can edit 1 project every 2 weeks to begin with. And this is because maybe you're learning the program, maybe you're just learning their style. 2 weeks is kind of a good grace period for you to give yourself to edit a project for a new company. If you were able to edit 1 project every single week for $350 per project, you could earn $18,200 a year. But again, right now, what we want to do is give ourselves a little grace, kind of be understanding, be conservative in our estimate. So instead of saying 1 a week, we're saying 1 every 2 weeks, and saying that you're going to turn in a project every single week for an entire year is a little unrealistic. There's 52 weeks in a year. Let's give yourself 3 weeks of vacation and 1 week for sick leave. So let's say that there are 48 weeks in a working year. And again, it takes you 2 weeks for 1 project. That gives you 24 projects a year that you're turning into. At the end of the year, you have $8,400 in your pocket. However, as a 1099 employee, you need to remember all of this is pre-tax. You'll be taxed separately. You have to go through your own tax thing. So again, all of this is estimated on the low end of what I have been paid for wedding projects. On the high end, I'm getting $750 for a project. If I can edit 1 project a week for 52 weeks a year, I would get $39,000. However, taking it back, pulling it back, allowing myself a little time to rest, a little time to go on vacation, and a little time to be sick, that's going to be about $36,000 a year. If you are working for 52 weeks a year, you're also going to get burnt out. You need time to rest. You need that extra time to recharge. Unless, of course, you wanted to take your, laptop and edit on vacation. As a freelance video editor, if you have a laptop, then that is an option. So again, here you have it. If you're able to find that consistent work and be able to turn out consistent work, then this is a realistic range of what to expect as a freelance video editor. However, if you were to go full-time, again, I am very part-time. Once my youngest daughter goes to school and all three of my kids are in school all day, I could probably triple my work hours if that's what I wanted to do, edit during the day while they're at school, and then continue to work at night. Then I could consistently make numbers that look more like this. If I was able to do 1.5 projects a week, I could make 46, almost 47,000 a year. If I was able to do 2 full projects a year, and again, this is kind of a middle estimate on price, about $600 per project, and I was able to do 2 of those per week, I could make $62,000 a year. Again, that's on the very high end. So how much you make really depends on the companies that you're editing for, how consistent your work is, how effective your processes are, and how much you're able to work. If you are ready to make money or to supplement your income as a freelance video editor, then check out the FVL Lifestyle Solution. It's a masterclass in establishing a schedule around your life, learning Adobe Premiere, setting up your LLC, finding freelance clients. It's part recorded videos, it's part one-on-one coaching with me. I will walk you through the whole process and help you live the freelance lifestyle of your dreams. Link is down below in the comments. As always, like and subscribe to my channel. Comment down below with what you would do with $8,000 to $20,000 a year or more. Would you go on a vacation? Would that help supplement your bills? I want to know all of it. And as always, you can find me on Instagram at I am Sarah Rosendahl. Bye.